Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining tonight. My name is Tiffany Hall, and I am an alumni of TripleTen Software Engineering Program, a full stack engineer at Scholastic Inc., the world's largest publisher of children's books and a powerhouse in the digital education space, too. Tonight, I am very excited that I get to be the host of our December Bug Jam. So I'm glad to see that you are here as well. And thank you to all of the participants. Thank you so much for joining. I know that it can be tough to carve out time in the evening, especially in December. So thank you so very much. It's really great. All of these bug jams and code jams are really wonderful in being able to see all of our students come together from across the country. So very quickly, if you're not familiar with what a bug jam is, let's talk about that. So a bug jam is a friendly competition that is in a very short time frame where we have students of our QA program during their normal coursework. We throw them into a competition together and we ask them to go through and judge, create test cases and do all of the testing and QA magic that they do for the software engineers projects from their code jams. So plenty of bugs to be found because we're all still learning. Naturally, we're all competing in this bug jam for the one thing that we all want, which is, of course, Santa to bring us presents or my husband to just bring me Starbucks. Just kidding. We're not actually competing for those things. We're competing for pride. Mostly it's just pride and bragging rights, but that's still pretty nice. All right. Last week, our participants were were divided into two teams. No, not two teams. They were divided into their teams and were challenged to collaboratively go through and check the apps that our software engineer students created during the November Code Jam. Our teams only had 5 days to complete their projects with all of the QA requirements that we gave them. So today, our teams are going to show off the results to all of you watching at home, and our judges are going to then review them over the next week. They will be judging both the QA part as well as the presentation. All of the results will be posted on December 20th, and our student viewers, if you are watching this later, you can find our poll in the Discord channel. And if you're not a student of ours just yet, then you can either comment on our YouTube or you can find us on all of our socials like Instagram and the like, and you can comment on the projects there. All of the audience favorite projects will win an award as well. And the winners of the points evaluation will also get a prize. So prizes for everyone. All right. If you have any questions or comments, write them down in the YouTube chat. We like to see all of those pieces. It's really fun to be able to answer questions from the viewers at home. If you have a favorite team that is coming on, please feel free to go ahead and to light them up in the chat as well, because it's fun to see that as well. All right, let's talk to our teams now. We have 5 teams tonight. So our very first team will be the Jingle Bug Jam. And that is Burkuk Karake, Hector Guadalupe, and Lisbeth Alcantar. That's your cue. Burkuk, you're not sharing yet.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start
All
now.
right.
So hi, we are the Jingle Bug Jam group. Next slide, please.
So,
No, sorry.
Okay.
Today's agenda is team intro, application under test, the test we conducted, performed highlightings, conclusion, and teamwork. So on our team, it's actually just two people. It's myself, Lisbeth. I am a future Q engineer. I'm from Michigan, and a fun fact about me is that I have a bachelor's in computer science. And then our other team member is Bert Cook. He is a QA test engineer. He's from New Jersey. And a fun fact about him is that he enjoys street photography and sketching. So what app did we test? It is the Friendsgiving Jam app. And this is designed to simplify the planning of friend gatherings. It provides tools for event creation, menu planning, sharing event details with friends, and it aims to enhance user experience by making the event organization collaborative and fun. We focus on ensuring the quality and functionality through comprehensive manual and automated testing. We document test cases on Google Sheets with gyro links, focusing on verifying user interface, user experience, and functionality. We also had some automated testing, which we use Python and Selenium. And for the reports, we use PyTest. Next slide, please. Our roadmap. So the first stage we had was planning and preparation. This is where we define our objectives. We identified our test cases and set up our tools. We had some exploratory testing where we applied black box testing techniques. There was also manual testing, automated testing. Then we had our review and analysis where we analyzed our results and identified issues. And then finally, we did our bug reports, charts, prepared documentation, and submitted all of our work. Next slide, please. The types of testing that we used during this project was manual testing, automated testing, functional testing, UI testing, accessibility testing, cross-browser testing, and cross-platform testing.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hello, everyone. The major functionality in this app is sharing and creating, sharing the created events with loaded ones, but these functions is not working. These buttons, like the linked buttons, clickable icons not clickable. This is a crucial section that is missing and would likely impact users' opinions of the app. So, and create an event form fields, we check the possible values and negative values. And as you can see, only Latin characters allowed, but it allows the mostly and any values. And we made boundary value analysis, equivalence value, partitioning classes to test the edge of input ranges. Mostly our tests focus on input ranges. As stated by the requirements, only Latin characters allowed, but as you can see, is allowed. And this one, the about section introduced the team text not match with the requirements. And video, as you can see, this video starts playing without actually clicking on it, simply by navigating to the home tab on Reel. You see it's like a YouTube video. And the header logo and the footer logo have different aspect ratios. This can lead to the visual unbalance and unprofessional appearance on the app's interface. You see this, the header logo is 50-50 ratio and 40-40 this footer logo. The contrast ratio between the background and the foreground colors not meet the WCAG guidelines. And the font used for the app is quite difficult to read. As you can see, you cannot barely read it. And all touch targets have sufficient spacing to prevent accidental activation. You see these little icons really very small and very, very close to each other. It should be at least 45 by 45. And All links on the Friendsgiving Jam app homepage, like clear and descriptive text on area label, and also here's all image elements on the Friendsgiving Jam app homepage, lacks descriptive attributes, alt attributes. You see the image, logo image. It should be, the best practice should be like this, alt, like this for the so for the like assistive technologies like screen readers would not be able to work with this app. So it definitely needs more work to make it accessible for users with special needs. So we made also an automation testing with Python and Selenium, and we use like we also had a HTML report. So I hand it over to my Elizabeth. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So our test results. At the end, we ended up with 101 test cases. 56 of these passed, but 45 of these failed. Next slide. Then we kind of broke it down into the bug severity. 40% of these were critical, over 35% were of medium severity, and 24% were of low severity. And then also breaking it down by priority, over 60% were of high priority, over 35% were medium, and over 2% were low. Next slide. Challenges during this project. One of them was time management. So we definitely had to work around everyone's work and life commitments. We made sure to stay on track. That included careful planning and dividing up the task, which helped us manage our workload effectively. We also had to work on communication. So we made sure to choose one line of communication and made sure to check our messages on time, just to stay aligned. This helped us maximize productivity and make the most of our time. Can you go back? I'm sorry. And then we also had to work on teamwork. So we had to learn how to work together because this was the first time that Berkuk and I worked together. So it was essential for us to adapt and learn from each other's methods and preferences. We made sure to have regular check-ins and shared feedback to foster a supportive environment. Next slide. Takeaways. Something that really helped our team collaborate was that we made good effort in having good communication. That really helped us stay on track, and we held ourselves accountable because of the regular check-ins. I think it was easy for us to collaborate because we had a common goal, and I think we were both equally motivated that we wanted to do a good job. Being organized also really helped us, as it helped us divide roles and responsibilities in order to be efficient with our time and resources. So thank you for listening to our presentation. If you want to contact us, we're always on LinkedIn. Happy holidays.
Marvelous. Thank you guys so very much. That was wonderful. I feel like there needs to be extra points awarded for the matching background to your presentation. And I always love that. It's so much fun. So just some questions. You guys talked about communication, which is really great. I'm glad you guys were able to figure out like one main mode and figure out what worked for your team. That is half the battle, right? But what was maybe something that you each felt really proud of the actual test cases that you created?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Which test case we oh we had 101 test cases.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of test cases.
We made also automation tests. Mostly we did focused on these data fields. like we made the Bandro analysis, equivalence partitioning, because before October Bug Jam, we didn't have that part. So
Okay.
we made mostly, we focused on that part. But which one that I can say, I don't know.
Elizabeth, do you have a favorite?
My
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I will say that I was in the October Bug Jam, and I think this time around, I think our test cases were pretty thorough. I can't really think of anything that we missed. I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, we had 101, so I think I would like to think that we were pretty good in coming up with as many test cases as we could, and that they were good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly some comments in the chat about how amazing it is that you guys built automated tests in such a short time frame. That's really remarkable. So kudos to you guys.
I think my favorite is Lisbeth found one compatibility testing bug jam, like we couldn't find any compatibility bugs because we we didn't use any real device for testing. So Lisbeth used her phone for testing, and then she found that bug. So we were so lucky.
Oh, really great. So, sometimes you just got to kick it old school and try it out on the devices themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really great. Well, thank you guys so very much. Again, that is the Jingle Bug Jam with Berkuk Kerke and then Lisbeth Alcantar. All right, our next group is the Test Titans. So the Test Titans consist of Demetrius Dubois, Ethan Jacobson, and Janetta Bell. Test Titans, where'd you go? Demetrius, I see you. All right. Seem to be having some technical difficulties there. So we will come back and circle back to the Titans after we get that worked out. For now, we will move on to the Bug Bash Blizzard. And they have done a pre-recorded presentation. So the Bug Bash the Bug Bash Blizzard. Y'all killing me with those names. Yeah, thanks, Madhu. Thanks, Kara.
Triple B's.
Oh man, is these two lovely women as well. Madhu Mohapatra and then Josh Kleckner and Kara Cross. Kara or Kara? Kara. Okay. And so I will go ahead and start the sharing of the screen. And I will play that presentation and we will chat with them at the end. All right. Okay. All right, here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our presentation of the December Bug Jam event. We are Team Bug Bash Blizzard. Our team consists of myself, I'm Josh, and my amazing teammates, Madhu and Kara. You can see we have our LinkedIn profiles below. Please connect and reach out to us. The objectives we'll cover in today's presentation include the project introduction, our team's approach to the project, the test summary report, the challenges we faced, our key takeaways, and we'll wrap up with a conclusion. The Friendsgiving Jam app is an app that simplifies the planning of friend gatherings by providing tools for event creation, menu planning, and sharing event details with friends. This app is a great way to collaborate with your friends and family when planning events. Our team's approach all began with planning. As soon as we learned who our teammates would be, we created a Discord group and joined a Zoom call. In that call, we introduced ourselves and reviewed the project and requirements. From there, we divided up into roles so we knew our plan of attack for the project. After that began the execution, where we wrote and performed our test cases and documented them. During this project, we learned that communication was key to our success. The environments we tested included Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, Android on Samsung for mobile, low resolution display of 800 by 600 pixels, Windows 11 Home, and Mac OS Monterey. The tools and technology we used included Google Sheets for our test cases, Jira for bug reports, Discord and Zoom for communication, Canva for this presentation, DevTools for testing, and NVDA Screen Reader for additional accessibility testing. The types of testing we did included functional, which also included negative, validation, and browser testing, and non-functional tests, including performance, usability, accessibility, and compatibility tests. And now Madhu will take it away, going deeper into the types of testing.
Thank you so much, Josh. Hello, everyone. This is Madhu. We have conducted many types of testing on this application. I'm going to explain few of them. We have done functional testing. This functional testing verifies each feature should work as per the requirements. These are the few examples of functional test cases with high priority. As you can see, this create an event page today. So this page, these icons should be clickable. When we try to test, these icons were not clickable. When we try to test this application on Firefox browser, we saw this time icon is not present. So we did the performance testing on this application to evaluate this application speed, responsiveness, and scalability. This is a sample of performance test case. As you can see, the CLS value is 0.12. It should be 0.1 or less. We performed accessibility testing to make sure this application is usable by users with disabilities. We tried to test this application with the help of DevTool to find out if this area attribute is present. As you can see, if there is no area attribute, this is basically used for the screen reading. We did UI testing to make sure this application is attractive by end user. This is a sample of UI test case with medium priority bug. The font size is smaller than 16px, which is difficult to read. And now I'm going to transfer this presentation to my dear friend, Kara.
Thank you, Madhu. In testing the Friendsgiving Jam app, we found that the app is functional, but has several issues. With 34% of bugs identified, 20 of those bugs being of medium severity, we found that the key areas of problem included functionality and accessibility. Based on the graphs, we identified a total of 44 bugs, with the majority being medium priority, 27 to be exact, and 20 of those bugs being medium severity. It indicated but put a focus on non-critical issues, but it was still impactful fixes. And let's not forget that we found a critical bug. It's important to mention this critical bug because it was unreadable by our screen reader. Our screen reader could not access the bug. Also, it can cause and pose a problem for developers. The challenges that we faced was getting to know each other and having a project put together within 5 days. We dealt with some time constraints because we are in different time zones, but we were able to manage. We were posed with a couple of gray areas because we had unfamiliar testing, accessibility testing, and performance testing. Even though we were unfamiliar, we were able to successfully test in those areas. We were able to do all of this and maintain our personal commitments. Our key takeaway is effective communication, adaptability, teamwork, improved QA skills, knowledge sharing, collaboration, versatility, resilience, and work-life integration. In conclusion, Team Bug Bash Blizzard tested the Friendsgiving Gem app. We came up that it had some functional issues and medium severity bugs, and we also discovered a critical bug. After this event, we'll reflect on our process, identify what went well, and explore opportunities for improvement to enhance our future projects. This presentation was a team effort, and we thank you on behalf of all of us. Please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. From your team wizards or debugging wizards, Bug Bash Blizzard. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, let's chat with the Bug Bash Blizzard. I was practicing team. All right, so I see you guys also have some very lovely backgrounds to match your theme. Very nicely done. So both of you, Madhu and Kara, you guys that did the QA jam before. So what's it like doing the second one around? Not you, Kara. Am I forget? I'm just thinking you've been here before.
I was there.
I know Madhu has been
She
here.
was. I've always been in the audience though. Every bug jam.
I'm a long time listener, first time joiner. All right, so Madhu, what if your experience has changed between the first one and the second one? I know that was something that Lisbeth mentioned, is that, like the test cases and making sure that, we're super thorough this time. Did you feel that way, or did you have a different kind of realization between first and second time?
Definitely, I can say my experience. It was amazing because the last Bug Jam event, I was the first time tried that, and what are the review I got it from the first Bug Jam. I got to use that review. Okay, I need to change in that part, this part, and I applied in this Bug Jam. It's basically plus point for me. And in test case point of view, yes, I learned some new portions and accessibility testing. Last time I learned the performance testing thing, and this time I learned more in accessibility testing. So yes, it's a plus point for me.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
and especially the new team is, this team is also amazing team. I'm so lucky
Yes.
to have two teams. It's good team.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's wonderful. So Kara, in terms of like the experience you were kind of hoping for, it sounds like it was obviously a positive experience, but what do you think for other QA students who are thinking about joining but aren't sure how they can kind of manage a new team and all of the other pieces? Do you have any advice for them?
Nice. Okay, because that was a little bit of a challenge for me, the time managing part, but my advice
Yeah.
would be just any downtime to just try to learn as much as you could. I found it very helpful for me to do like side reading when I could. So a lot of testing that I was unfamiliar with, I familiarized myself with. My team members taught me about some testing that I was unfamiliar with. And in downtime, I would just look into it or I would try to read into it. But I would say just study when you have time. And that would be the answer I would give.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as put down the Bridgerton book and pick up the QA book.
Yep. Yep. And just try to
Okay.
jam that QA in there as much as you can.
Sure. All right. Thank you both for answering some questions, and thank you to all three of you for presenting. It was a very wonderful presentation. That is the Bug
You can
Bash
just say
Blizzard.
we are just practicing with
Blizzard.
I know. The Bug Bash Blizzard with Madhu Mahapatra, Josh Kleckner, and Kara Cross. All right,
The
we
debugging
have
wizard.
Dimitri.
Sorry, debugging
No,
wizards.
you're okay.
We'll take that.
Okay, that one too. All right, so we've got some things worked out now, and so we have Demetrius back with us from the Test Titans. So we have the presentation for the Test Titans, and that team, just to remind everybody at home, is Demetrius Dubois, Ethan Jacobson, and Janetta Bell. Demetrius, you are free to take it away.
All right. All right.
Y'all can see the PowerPoint, right?
Yes, we can. You're all set.
Okay. Uh, okay. Okay, so my team was the Test Titans. That was Johnetta Bell, Ethan Jacobson, and myself. Um, we tested for the 2024 December TripleTen Bug Jam, and this is the project overview. And I have a little video. Um, Project overview is team's responsibilities. Our team was responsible for testing Friends Giving Jam web application and event planning application built so you can easily create the most the most memorable parties with your friends. The purpose of the application, the user can name the event, give a current date and time so all your friends know the details of your event and all your friends, select all your friends you're inviting to the event. The overall objective, ensure that the Thanksgiving Jam application functionality, capability mul- to multiple environments and edit adaptability to mobile devices is up to the standards of the requirements. Okay. Next slide is testing methodologies and roadmap. Um, the type of testing we used, functionality testing, which is a type of testing to see if the application works as intended and meets user requirements. Cross-browser testing, a quality assurance or QA process that verifies if a website or web application functions as intended across different browsers, devices, and operating systems. Manual testing, a software testing method where a tester manually runs test cases to find issues in software applications, products, and systems. Usability testing, a technique that evaluates how easy or difficult users find a product service. Accessibility testing, a process that evaluates digital products to ensure that they are usable by people with disabilities. Mobile testing, a type of software testing that verifies the functionality, usability, and performance of mobile applications. And performance testing involves checking the response time for an application or website in typical usage scenarios. The environments we tested in were Google Chrome and iPhone 12. The operating systems we tested on were MacBook Air Sequoia 15.1.1 and Windows 11. Testing tools we used were Google Google Docs /Sheets for test cases, Jira for bug tracking and reports, and then uh we used Jira for bug reports, excuse me, bug tracking. The team building tools we used were Discord for communication, Google Meets for team meetings /test cases, and Jira for bug reports /tracking. Oh, sorry. Um, so the first bug report that we had was test case 001. The create an event link located mid mid page is not clickable. That was functional testing. The description was during testing, our team found that the the create an event button wasn't clickable because of an requirements because in the requirements it states these icons are clickable for the user. Our team classified this as a medium priority. It's not as major since at the top of the home screen the create event button works so the user can click that. Um, we have proof of the bug and it was a medium priority. Uh, the next test case was test case 12. Length of one approved characters, one approved character, one approved characters should not be accepted. Uh, that was manual testing. The event name with only one approved character should not be accepted in an event name input field. Message is displayed, enter correct event name, but event name with only one approved character is accepted in the event name input field. No error message appears. The next test case is test case 003, verify, create an event landing page, loads correctly. That was a performance testing. Our team was able to execute performance testing on the load time of the create an event load landing page. The functionality failed as it wasn't a field to input a brief event description. And we have a link for the proof of the bug. The next test case was test case 020. Can user share with friends on iPhone, cross browser? That was cross browser testing and mobile testing. This test case failed as there was no way for user to share the event with their friends. The clickable button on the home screen not clickable at all. And there was proof of that for that bug. Um, the next test case is test case 004. Each field on the landing page should allow data entry, and that was accessibility and usability testing. Accessibility and usability testing were used to test this test case as it is easy to use for users to execute their event planning with the application, and accessibility for special needs users is it's also it also accomplished with the application because the create event and my event pages are accessible at the top of the home page and it is easy to enter data in the fields. Um, Effects on the user's experience. The team found a lot of bugs in this application that could affect the user's experience with Friendsgiving Jam. We seen that it is hard for the user to be able to use the clickable buttons on the home screen, as well as users being able to enter being able to enter non-Latin and numbers in the event name and location fields of the application. Also, we found that I'm sorry, I didn't even finish that sentence. Um, the next thing, difficulties we faced, work schedules, time zone differences, family responsibilities, and car issues. And the results, number of test cases we tested were 53. Out of the 53 test cases, test cases that passed were 26 and 27 test cases failed. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it was really great being able to see what the format of the test cases that you guys have to break out. I think
Mhm.
that is something that, like, a lot of people who are not sure, like, what does it mean to go through and make a test case, or what does it mean that you guys go through and test these things? Like, you guys are combing through these apps with a fine tooth comb, and
Mhm.
like nitpicky in this world is a good thing, right? And so it's just kind of a really great opportunity for us to see the work that goes on behind the scenes for the creation of those critical bugs, medium severity bugs. So Demetrius, what was something that maybe was like a favorite part during the team? I know you guys obviously did a depth of work that was really impressive. But do you have maybe a favorite part that you did or something you enjoyed the most?
Okay, I'm sorry. My favorite part was just being able to test the application on my mobile phone. I was trying to look for an emulator, but most of the web application, like the mobile emulators weren't free, so I just did it off my phone, and I found it was like that the testing on my phone was a lot of fun. It was like, okay, like I put in the data from that I came up with, and it was doing it was just like a lot of fun, like being able to make up different data places for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a video game, right? Like
Yeah.
the goal is to break the whole thing. And so you're like, what if I do this button with this number and put in a Latin character? And then the whole thing is like, oh, I can't do it. That's awesome. Thank you so very much for taking the time tonight to share with us the all of the hard work you guys put in. And again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to put some of those test cases in to show us as well.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome. That is the Test Titans with Demetrius Dubois, Ethan Jacobson, and Janetta Bell. All right, so our last one for the evening is, before I begin, I wanted to mention that Rakuk and Madhu, you guys have an old teammate in the YouTube chat that are cheering you on from beyond in the streaming world. So feel free to pop over there afterwards and you guys can see the lovely comment they left. All right, the last one for the night is our software sleuth. Our software sleuths have a recorded presentation, so I will be bringing that up here in just a second. And that is Shalini Kancharla, Rubama Patwari, and then Jesus Gonzalez. So I will share this, and then we will chat with Jesus and Rubama afterwards, who also, by the way, just have the most amazing backgrounds again. I am loving the background coordination tonight. All right, let me go ahead and share the screen and bring it on up.
If I want to coordinate a memorable Friendsgiving, from the perfect turkey to who's bringing the cranberry sauce, the last thing I want to worry about is whether my app will crash before I finalize the guest list. This is Team Software Sleuths, and our report today aids the development of an app that can transform chaotic holiday planning into a seamless, stress-free celebration. I'll go over the project overview and introduce our team members, followed by Jesus explaining how we set it up to ensure a successful report. After that, Shalini will cover the nitty-gritty of our test cases and bug reports. Finally, I'll come back and share what we learned from this jam and wrap it up. But first, let's briefly introduce our team members.
Hi, this is Sul Gonzalez. I'm a huge car fanatic / enthusiast. I also love learning new things that challenge me, such as being a QA engineer. Also, thank you so much for giving me a chance to participate in this bug jam. This is my first time. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shalini Kancharla. Firstly, I would like to thank TripleTen for giving me this wonderful opportunity. This is my second bug jam program, and I'm very excited to share my findings with you today.
And I'm Rubama. Hello. A fun fact about me, I'm a huge fanatic over fiber arts right now. I really enjoy things like crocheting, knitting, tatting, anything with yarn really. My role was to establish communication between team members, set up deadlines, and overall make sure that deliverables really came together. So what is our project about? Friendsgiving Jam. It aims to be a collaborative and fun event organization tool where the user can create an event, plan a menu, and can share it with others. We comprehensively tested the app, exploring its functionality, accessibility, performance efficiency, and cross-platform compatibility. We identified a few gray areas for some requirements, but despite that, we were able to test a whopping 140 test cases.
We had three main characteristics of our testing. We performed manual black box testing for convenience as we did not have access to the code. We also relied on scripted tests over exploratory tests as we prepared our test cases before actually going into testing phase. This is because we had a detailed list of requirements and were testing already built functions. For functionality testing, we tested that each element performed as expected. We tested accessibility by checking if it can accommodate users who have special needs. We tested efficiency in order to see if the app can perform well under different load conditions. Lastly, we tested if the app was compatible across different supported environments such as resolutions, browsers, and mobile devices. The main tools we used were Discord for communication, Google Suite for main deliverables, and Jira for bug reporting. We also used Lighthouse for accessible testing.
To elaborate further, Lighthouse was a really convenient tool for us. We were able to perform several non-functional tests in one run. Both performance, efficiency, and accessibility were measured. It also gave us a really detailed report with specific accessibility measures which were lacking in the layout. For cross-platform testing, we used an array of methods to make sure that we were being as comprehensive as possible. We checked 5 different browsers, we checked the most popular DevTool emulators for mobile compatibility, and we manually changed the screen resolution on our devices to see how the app would react to those changes.
Here you can see, for our bug reports, we mainly found medium severity bugs. Out of 41 bugs, we got 22 medium, while 12 fell around critical and major, and 7 were minor. Our bug reports in Jira include an exhaustive description that what, when, and how, followed by the steps to reproduce. It also includes environment, priority, severity, and expected versus actual result with visual records. Based on severity, we organized our bugs based on priority like this. So the developers can easily understand where to start fixing the bugs. While not every severe bug will be highly prioritized, but in our case, we found that most critically severe bugs did relate to core functionalities, thus they were more likely to be prioritized. Here, we organize test cases by functional and non-functional requirements. Functionality bugs found included elements not existing on the user end, linked elements not redirecting the user, and little to no validation for form fields. Accessibility was the biggest point across the board when it came to adhering to non-functional requirements. Overall, from 140 test cases, 99 were passed and 41 failed. Currently standing at a 70% success rate for test cases, while impressive for a preliminary series of tests, the success rate can stand to improve. That being said, the app has a fun, modern UI design. The homepage layout is particularly very attractive, and who doesn't want to share a meal with a friend?
Due to the short time constraint, unfortunately, we could not test as holistically as we wanted. We also found gray areas which needed to be elaborated to have a full idea on what we really needed to test. For example, some validation rules in the app requirements were duplicated, while for other fields there were no validation rules at all. Some logical errors were present in the app requirements, like inappropriate error feedback or not having enough constraints for the user. And lastly, communication is vital for collaborative projects such as this one. People will naturally have differences in the way they work because we all experience life differently, and communication is the tool that we can use to help bridge those gaps. But that's why we're here. These jams help us practice and adapt in these different situations. From this exercise, we learned 3 main takeaways. Just as I mentioned, communicate ASAP. If you have expectations, debrief your team immediately and communicate what they are. Focus on patience and compromise. 2, work smart, not hard. Focus on the tasks that give the biggest payoff for the end result. And lastly, Google is free. Look through your available resources and learn along the way. For example, we looked at past jams to help refine our presentation today. A well-engineered app is essential for ensuring that the planning of a Friendsgiving is as enjoyable and stress-free as the event itself. As the demand for seamless digital solutions continue to grow, delivering a quality product is key to ensuring success in the future holiday gatherings. We want to thank the TripleTen team for allowing us to participate today and gain some hands-on experience in working with the collaborative environment. I also want to personally thank my teammates for always giving it their best and being reliable. Once again, this was Team Software Sleuths, and it was an honor to present today.
I think literally everybody on the call right now is making this face of like, what did I just watch? Like the production value alone. Okay, so first question, how did y'all make that presentation? That was amazing.
Thank you so much. Really appreciative of everyone's comments in the chat right now. But yeah, I used Adobe Premiere Pro after we set up the presentation on Google Slides. And yeah, that's probably where I like layered all the videos and everything. And I did a lot of screen recordings.
I feel like we're gonna be in touch to get you to make a like doc or a presentation on how to make a presentation, and we put it
I'd be
in
honored.
our code tutorial. That thing was amazing. I had my video turned off, but when you did the like it's free, I was like,
Probably on TikTok a little too much.
that's okay. I'm here for it. Totally great. Okay, so let's talk about the really important things. In the behind the scenes, where I was telling Ruben that I'm also a knitter. This is at my desk all the time. It's a current sweater I'm working. This is not the time. Okay, sorry, not the time. Right, the code stuff. That's what we're here for, right? Okay, so let's talk about the organization of all of the information. You guys showed us some kind of like clips behind the scenes, like the Team Titan, no, Test Titans did, of kind of like what goes on behind the scenes. How did you guys keep all of those little pieces organized? It seems like you were using a few different resources.
So we made sure that no matter what, every single person had an idea of what was going on. So if someone was more used to using Discord, I would have pinned messages on Discord, and then like one of our team members would prefer using seeing everything on the Excel sheet. So we had a checklist there, just making sure that everyone understood what all tabs were, and we very abrupt, like as soon as possible, we made an agenda for what our tasks should be.
Right on. Yeah, there's so many elements there. In terms of things that you guys are, one of the things that you guys talked about in your presentation was that piece around like what you're learning in the coursework, and this is the opportunity to practice it. Did you guys feel like you got that opportunity that you were hoping you'd get, or do you feel like you had to go out and find a bunch of information on your own?
Yeah, I'd say it's like a good mix of the two. I mean, obviously, no matter what project you kind of step into, there's a little bit of that you have to like find on your own. But I
Yeah.
did refer a lot back onto our old TripleTen lessons to make sure that everything was consistent with the information that I was going to share on the slides.
Great. Jesus, I saw you nodding your head too. Was that your experience as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, yeah, because it, like I mentioned on the intro, like it's my first time, I know, and being Hispanic, it's like if I have, you know, either if I can help out, at least I try not to get in the way. So it's like I could support, whatever I could, and you know, but it was an experience for sure. And Rubama, like she's awesome. I mean, she took head of the project. But I was here for learning, and I learned a lot. So it's like thank you for the team, right? Like they're really awesome. I know Shalini's not here, but she's very knowledgeable as well.
It seems like you guys all
Both of them
worked
were the
really
ones.
well together.
Yes, even if we
Yeah,
had
definitely.
different ideas at times, and I want to like shout out to Shalini specifically here, we made sure that we always like kind of hashed out any discussion we had. For example, I was like thinking that, oh, I really wanted to do things my way, but then she was like, okay, let's discuss this with like one of the TripleTen tutors, and we joined that call, and then we were able to just like calmly discuss everything together.
Awesome. That's great. I'm glad to see that you guys were able to reach out to, again, kind of the tutors and kind of get the support you needed, even during a, not coursework kind of a thing. That's really great. In terms of if you had one more hour, you guys had a lot that you crammed in to a very short period of time, but if you guys had one more hour, what would be an area you would test a little more?
I was really hoping you would ask this question because after I saw that first presentation, I was like, wait, I really wish I did this. One would be definitely looking at UI aspects. I know we did cross-platform compatibility, but that was mainly testing functionality across other platforms. I would really like to look at the design aspect and kind of assess that for myself as well too.
Yeah, it's always nice seeing, I mean, the idea that we're all testing kind of the same app, but to see how different each team is really pulling different kind of focuses, right? Everything from like accessibility to font size to character input and error messages. It's been really fascinating to see that over the course of the presentation. All right. Well, that wraps us up. That's the end of our we are at the end. All right. So that is the software sleuths, and that was Shalini Kancharla, Rubama Pachwari, and Jesus Gonzalez. It has been a wild ride filled with lovely, lovely backgrounds. And I am a big fan of all of the backgrounds. Thank you very much for doing that. That makes my job so much more joyful. But on behalf of not just me, all of the people on TripleTen, and especially to the engineers, the software engineer students that let us use their project, thank you so very much. It is definitely a lot of courage to come on here and present the way that you all did tonight, and it is also a lot of courage to allow your project that you worked on in a very short period of time to be judged publicly by all of you. So thank you to the code as well as to the QA engineers tonight. For all of us here at TripleTen, that has been the December Bug Jam presentation. Thank you so much for watching at home. You can cast your vote for the favorite project, leaving a comment in our YouTube channel. I see that Janetta was able to join in and cast her vote. So, that's an important part. You got to get those votes in. If you are a student of ours, you can vote in the Discord channel. We will have a poll there as well. The results and the winners are going to be announced on December 20th in Discord, as well as our socials. I would like to send a special thanks to everyone who helped to organize the Bug Jam behind the scenes. That's Irina, Kevin, Elena, Natasha, Yulia, Irina, Nadia, and of course my cat Sharkbait. We would be nowhere without him. Thanks again to all of the QA engineers that participated tonight. I know that coming up with these test cases and presentations and life is a lot to be managing, and you guys did such a fantastic job. Hundreds of bugs that were found tonight. It is amazing. I'm always continually impressed with the amount of bugs from such a small app. It is amazing to me that my QA engineers that I work with daily don't want to murder me. Just kidding, Catherine. Okay, so thank you again. My name is Tiffany Hall. You can find me at Tiffany Codes on Instagram, and you can find Sharkbait probably trying to pick the lock on the food cabinet. But thank you all for watching, and have a great evening.
Good night.